Mi gente, I am Jen, and I'm here with.
Allison, hello.
Hi, Allison. How are you?
Hi, Jen. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So thank you for being a part of my career style interview. I cannot speak. Um,
Of course, it's a pleasure to be here.
of course. Before we get started, I know you, but the people don't know who you are.
That
So
is true.
care to give us a little in-depth explanation about your career path, your
So,
little life.
my little life. So, hello, everyone. Again, my name is Allison. I am 21 years old. I am Salvadoreña. I was born and raised in New York. I went to El Salvador for 5 years, came back, and now I'm starting my journey, my long journey to become a zoologist. I am currently studying biology at Nassau. I am going to do my associates and then transfer, hopefully, to the only university in New York that has zoology, which is Oswego.
That's my girl, y'all. That's my girl. Question for you. How did you navigate your way into zoology? It's not a well-known field.
So, I guess long story, oh, long story short, I've always been interested in animal studies, but I guess I didn't feel like veterinary sciences fit me
Hmm.
personally, and I am fascinated with well, I guess I did my research and I'm just so interested in, the whole collecting samples and being out there in the field and then um coming back and studying and reporting and the whole, you know, I guess analytical part of it also. It's just interesting to me. And I guess I stumbled upon zoology or because I didn't want to be a veterinarian. Like, no hate to
That
veterinarians,
is okay.
but I did not feel. I'm like, I don't think I'll do well there. But I still wanted to do something with animals, I guess.
Did you grow up with a lot of animals in your household?
Funny story, I did not.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to have a pet until I was 10, and I was obsessed with animals when I was a little kid though. I entirely blame Wild Kratts, the show. Like, if you ask me where it started there.
What is that? I've never heard of that.
So it's a show, it's a kids show. It's a kids show. It's called Wild Kratts. It like basically teaches kids about different wild animals. I'm pretty sure like the I'm pretty sure one of the I want to say characters, but it's not a character, it's a real guy.
Oh,
One of the actors, I guess I'll say, is a zoologist. I don't know, I'd have to check. But basically it's just like to teach kids about animals. And when I was a kid, I think I memorized like a whole book of dogs, of like
dang.
dog species. No, dog species. Not species.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
It is okay. We can laugh. It's a safe space. You are okay.
Oh my God. I'm not nervous, I swear.
That is absolutely crazy.
Oh
You
my
know
God.
what? That developed who you are today.
Dog breeds. Let me correct myself before
Dog
before
breed.
somebody comes after me.
She does have a cat,
I
and
have a cat. I
she
had a
also has a
dog when
dog.
I was a kid. Um, I have a cat. I had a dog. Um, but yes, if that's my development into being an animal lover. I guess I was always an animal lover. Why exactly it happened, I don't know. My best guess is that, I just kind of latched onto it um when I was a little kid, and then I grew up and now I'm here.
Oh, you're here. I'm also an animal lover by myself, but not like too much an extreme where it'd be like, oh my God, I want to be a veterinarian, or oh my God, I want to be a zoologist. I like to admire from afar.
No, yeah, of course.
What animals do you want to work with in the future? Like wildlife, like zoo life, well, zoology,
um
zoo life.
I'm I'm more interested in wildlife. I would love to specialize in birds
Ooh.
because when I was in El Salvador, my grandma, I want to say, I don't know, this bird belonged to everybody because everybody, I guess, quote unquote, took care of her. But this
For
bird
the bird, it took
belonged,
care of the person.
the bird.
Oh, okay. The bird.
Like I want to say the bird was my grandma's, but it was kind of also my aunt's and kind of also my mom's. But this bird, it's a yellow-naped Amazon. I'm pretty sure that's the name. It's she's a parrot. And I guess what I guess she inspired me more than anything that I've said so far. Um, this bird had been kept in a tiny little cage for like years because it belonged to my mom, and then my mom left to live in New York. And when we came back to El Salvador, um, this bird was like extremely frustrated, extremely aggressive, extremely like neglected even. And in the 5 years that I spent over there, I don't want to say rehabilitated her because that's definitely not the word. Like I'm
Rekindled.
right. Uh-huh. I want to say I built like trust
Mm-hmm.
with this bird. She's very smart, very lively.
Does she
Um,
speak? Like
she
how a
does
loro
speak.
speak?
Yes, this is a Laura. Like we call her Laura because her name is Navidad because she was a Christmas gift para mi mamá.
Uh-huh.
When my mama was 10.
Really?
So yeah, this bird, she's like 7 years old
Híjole.
or something like that. Yeah, this bird is old and she hated everybody. Everybody is terrified of her.
The bird?
The bird, everybody is
Ay,
scared
Dios.
of her because she bites and she curses at people and she's just a nightmare.
Poor
Like
bird.
you walk by her and she's like biting at the cage and making
Oh.
noises and
Wait, so how did they take care of her?
with a very long broomstick.
No.
Yeah, they had to treat her like, I mean, she was aggressive, and um, I got her a bigger cage. I spent a lot of time with her, just like talking to her, and like every time I would walk by her and be like, "Hola," and I'd speak to her very nicely, and she started being nice back. Like,
Oh,
um, when my tia would go and try to feed her, if she didn't like it, she'd start cursing at my tia, like, "Mira, no, 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 no." Like, I don't want to repeat the terrible things my
you don't gotta repeat it. It's okay. I think they can get the hint.
yeah, you understand. But she started speaking nicely to me. I would go by her and she'd be like, "Hola, mi amor. Hola. ¿Cómo estás?"
That means hello. Hello, my love, by the way.
It does. And she was very
Oh, she's
um
tranquila. She's very
sweet.
calm.
And I felt like, if I could get into I would really like to go into rehabilitation
Mm.
for birds
Like
because
Rio.
she just, I feel like there are a lot of birds who end up like that,
Hmm.
because people don't know how to take care of them. Like they have this bird and it becomes an issue, and then they, discard it or send it off somewhere. And
Completely de-recognizes that the bird actually has feelings and they can actually understand to what we are
yeah,
doing to these pobrecitos.
yeah, pobrecitos.
Mm.
But I guess she inspired me to try to follow this career path, try to help more animals,
But more Loras.
more Loras like her.
More Loras like her.
Mm,
Thank you for sharing your lovely background. I really
of
enjoyed it.
course.
I really enjoyed hearing it again. This time. It just makes it more funnier. But it was actually pretty nice. It's pretty peaceful.
I hope that I didn't ramble too much.
No, it is okay.
Okay.
We are gonna ramble and we're gonna talk.
We're rambling, yeah.
We're just gonna have a conversation. So, getting into the interview questions, I cannot speak. Um, as you know, I went to school for 4 years to get my psychology degree,
Yes.
and now I'm back in school to get my certification in clinical mental health counseling. As you start your higher education career in zoology, how could I be useful or be a useful connection to you in developing your career? And if not, that is totally okay.
Honestly, I mean, since you're obviously ahead of me in the whole, just generally in your career, um, you kind of serve as like not a guideline, but kind of a guide. Um, if anything, an inspiration, si se puede,
Se
it can
puede.
be done. As a Latina myself, that we face problems and issues and setbacks that other people may not, or, and I guess what basically you are like an inspiration.
Thank you. Stop. Thank you.
Yeah.
Pero sí se puede para todas mis mujeres latinas, ¿no? For all my Latina women to show that we can do
Um,
it, we can perceive and we can thrive.
yes. It like I know how hard you've worked, and I know that you continue to work hard, and I guess I just aspire to work hard enough
Well, you
so that
already
I can
are.
also, achieve my goals and achieve all the things that I one day hope to have. And I know you're getting there. I know you're getting there. So I know I can get there too.
We both will get there together
We'll get there.
in
We
one
will get
way
there.
or another, one way or another. But thank you. Thank you for that. And I know that you have done amazing in your career path so far. I know that there have been trials and tribulations, but you are overcoming that and breaking down the barriers that have been placed, not only systemically, but socially as well.
Yeah.
Um, Especially expanding in this career field that isn't well commonly known. You're breaking down
Yeah.
this barrier, just showing people, hey, for those that don't want to go down the sciencey veterinary track, there's also this route.
Yeah.
As a woman in STEM, there's especially Latina women in STEM, you're providing the gateway to other people that look like us and speak like us, to navigate this career path as well.
Mm.
I am very proud of you. I know our lovely friend group is
Oh,
proud of you.
thank
I
you.
know your family's proud of you. Even if they don't say it, you show it. So you're doing amazing.
Thank you so
Discipline.
much.
You are. Um,
So sweet.
okay. So the next question is, who do you admire and who would you like to pattern your life after?
Um, Honestly, my tío Sus, we call him Tío Sus. His name is Jesus. But I admire him so much. He is not in any way a zoologist or even biologist. He works at a bank. So not at all the same field, but much like me, he kind of went off on his own and tried to build his life the best way he could, and he did it. So I would really like to follow in his footsteps and build my own life the same way he did.
When you were growing up, did he also um impact your way the way how you're talking about him right now?
Yeah, honestly, when I was a kid, he grew up here, so I guess um in a way I connected with him more than I did with other members of my family who were, my mom and my dad didn't really know much English. My other tias and tios, and that's not to say, just because they didn't know English, I couldn't connect with them, not at all. But, as a kid, you kind of look for somebody who will understand you.
Mm-hmm.
And as a kid, I knew less Spanish. I wasn't as confident as I am now in my Spanish speaking. And, you know, um, he always seemed to know how how he was gonna do things. Like he's a very confident person, and
Oh, I know.
as a as opposed to like um
By the way,
my
Herculeo is a very funny individual. He cracks me up every single time.
he is he's funny and he's incredibly smart. He's incredibly smart. And honestly, he's been helping me every step of the way for my career path right now. Right now and when I was a kid, it was easier for me to ask help from him than it was from my parents who, didn't know how to navigate um an American school system. since it was, you know, different from what they grew up with, what they knew. And I'm sure that, you know, I mean, my parents tried their best, but you know, they they couldn't navigate the American system as well as he could because he grew up in it, you know. Like my dad was in his mid-20s when he moved to New York, and my Theo was he was young, he was a kid. He was like, I want to say early teens at the latest. I don't remember exactly when, but um he was young enough to the point where, you know, he had to grow up in the American system, and he, you know, grew up, went to college, got a job, all in America. So he's more, I guess, fluent in how everything works here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's always been kind of like a guide for me. Um, because we're similar but we're different, and it's I guess comforting in a way to know that somebody who is so, you know, confident also started off um in a similar place where I am right now, I guess.
That is very true. We're like the same. Our parents, well, our parents, my parents did not grow up in the American school system. Parents were born and raised in Guatemala for a majority of their life until they decided to come here, and I don't remember my memories. But I was the first one in my whole generational family to navigate the American school system. Um, just trying to make my way through life, and it was like you said, it was very difficult for our parents to understand the American school system just because they were raised in a different school system with an entirely different language. And if
Yeah.
you don't know the language, how can you understand what your child is learning in school? All they see
Mm.
is grades, which in our job is to make sure that, well, our job used to be to bring home the grades, making sure that our parents don't have anything to worry about. Um, Also for my brother as well, like I was his little lifeline, his little birdie to navigate the way through American school system. Over time, my parents learned how to navigate that, but it was very difficult when it came time for me to apply for college. You know, nothing about FAFSA, nothing about different types of aid that they can provide to students. Basically, I had to do everything on my own, and I'm grateful for that experience. And I'm also like very, I take pride in that. But I was the first one to be able to navigate that, and now I have my brother that currently is in school that learned from me how to fill out these forms and paperwork so our parents doesn't have to go through the turmoil of what does this mean? Why do they need that? Yeah, like the whole nine yards.
Yeah.
And now, since more of my cousins are growing up in America, and now some of them are even going off to college, which is crazy enough to say, um, they've been helping, they've been asking me, what do I do, what I do? And to me, I take a lot of pride in that, be like, oh, I look at me being a lifeline for them because our parents don't really know how. And it's not their fault.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
just
It's
based the
not.
way how the system was designed, but me and you are the same in that regard.
Yeah. Um the whole like I am lucky enough had have had, you know, my uncle helping me out in some way, you know. But yeah, like you said, our parents, you know, it was hard for them, and I don't blame them at all, you know, for that because they definitely did the best they could. They were, you know, like you said, they were worried about the grades, and as long as we brought home the grades, you know, everything was good. But yeah, it's hard for for children of immigrants to not have somebody to like walk them through the steps.
Mhm. Well, look where we are now.
Like where we are now.
We in school. All of our fun fact, all of our friend group is in school right now, which is crazy. We're all in higher education. So whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop, we're making it.
Latinos and Middle Easterns and STEM and arts and
Latinos.
humanities and whatever else we decide to transpire on. So getting into our little fun questions, because I like to spice things up in our interview because well, I don't like talking about professionalism as much because I believe that fun questions are like easier for the person to be more calm and collected. But even though there's no magazines anymore, we both grew up in the 2000s, where there was a lot of magazines, Pop, Tiger, Pop Teen. I don't remember what it was. But growing up, did you read any magazines? If you did, which ones? Um, and do you currently read any magazines like in this present moment, either in our hands, like paper-like, or on our phones?
So when I was a kid, um, I was obsessed with the American Girl
Oh
magazines.
my God, yes! They don't make American Girl dolls anymore. Can you believe that?
Like they don't make them anymore?
They're
What?
not selling them anymore. There's no more American Girl dolls.
That is insane.
They have like the rebrand of American Girl doll. But anyways,
Oh, no. The American Girl dolls, the American Girl magazine. Um, I vaguely remember it because again I was like, a child. But a lot of it was like um I don't even I'm totally blanking.
it's
But
okay.
it came with like cute little quizzes and like little DIY projects and stuff like that. And I usually didn't, do any of them, but I just like the sparkly nature of the magazine was like, ooh,
Were they
what's
like
gonna come next?
sold in like the cashier aisles where it was like the last pig where all the gum was? Do you remember?
I remember that.
There's so much to grab. And you'd be like,
It was,
Mommy, yo quiero eso.
mommy, por favor,
Please.
please, mommy. And she'd be like, not this again.
Like, oh my God. No, growing up, I didn't read those. Like, I had an American Girl doll. I had two, believe it or not. I had two.
We
But
love American.
they were not American Girl dolls. They were the Avon version of American Girl dolls. Do you know what Avon is?
Avon, I don't know.
It's like, how do I properly explain it? Basically, it's like a pharmacy in a form of catalog. It's like one of what our moms usually would see on the TV. They sign up for it, they get a catalog, they get to choose. No?
Like the Avon.
But anyways, Avon made like American Girl dolls, like the off-brand, and they used to come with like little magazines, and I used to get so excited.
That's so cute.
I don't know where I think I don't have them anymore. I think they gave them to my cousin. Did you
I think
own any? Or like the off-brand American Girl dolls? Muñeca.
muñecas. I had two American Girl dolls, like the actual ones. My parents tried getting me the fake ones, and I was like, actually, this is not an American Girl doll, guys.
They're like, damn, we can't trick her.
They're like, damn.
You're a smart kid.
But I got one for my birthday. Um, she looked just like me. Of course, I had to get an American Girl doll who looked like me.
That's so funny. Do you still have it?
Um, she's in El Salvador right now.
Perfect. Perfect.
Girl is yeah,
She's living la vida.
she's living la vida over there.
She is living la vida. Ugh, no, I don't have that anymore. Do you read any currently, like right now? Like
Um,
not American Girl doll magazines, but like new ones.
um, I don't. I'm really not an avid reader. Like it's embarrassing.
It is okay, neither am I, girl.
I'm not an avid reader of magazines. Like I am just I hate to say it, but I'm so busy that the closest I get to like reading is audiobooks.
Oh wow. Use Audible. Sounds
And
sponsored, by the way.
and usually it's like I don't know, like silly little things that just kind of like lighten my day and not anything serious. Like I try to avoid like serious stuff when I'm listening to audiobooks just because I want to like relax.
You want to disassociate.
Yeah. But as far as magazines today, I don't even know what's out there. And actually, well, so I work in a grocery store. So magazines are on the shelf. And I guess the most recent thing I've read in a magazine, because I was deathly bored at my job, was this like magazine about cats.
Or cats?
Because I have a cat. So I'm like, ooh, cats. And it was all this like very basic, like, oh, when cats wag their tails, it's usually because they're irritated, not because they're happy like dogs. And there was like a section where it was talking about, how to interpret a cat and how to interpret their little like nuances. And I'm like, anyone who has a cat has learned by now how their cat communicates. But I
Hmm.
thought it was a silly little magazine. I thought it was fun to read. And I guess that's the closest thing I've gotten to reading a magazine recently.
Magazine is a magazine. I haven't picked up a magazine since 2000, I think like the mid 2000s. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm definitely not gonna lie. It's been a while
Yeah.
since I actually like picked up a magazine. The most recent time I remember picking up a magazine was I was in my mom's doctor's office, and there was like I didn't have a phone at the time, so I picked up a magazine and started reading it. I don't remember what was in the magazine. I think it was about like facial care.
Yeah, of course.
Do I recall any of it? No. But that was the last time I ever picked up a magazine, like paperback and actually, because I don't like reading, like I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
But
Reading, like I was a big reader when I was a kid, but recently I just haven't.
none of us, no, no reading, no reading
No reading.
unless it's for school, of course.
just my textbooks, yeah.
These are textbooks, of course. Um, since we both don't read magazines regularly or at all, what is your favorite TV show and why do you enjoy it? Kind of curious
Oh my God.
because we have watched multiple TV shows together, and I'm actually curious.
Recently it's Arcane. Um, how do I explain my love-hate relationship with this show? Uh, like, is it a TV? It's a show.
It's like I wouldn't say like a short cartoon. It's like it's a cartoon. I'm gonna
It is a cartoon.
put it at that.
It's a cartoon. It's an animated series. There.
There you
It's an
go.
animated series. It's for anyone who doesn't know what Arcane is, It's based off of League of Legends, which I've never in my life
It's based off of
played.
that?
It's yeah, apparently it's based off of the
I
game,
did
and
not
it
know
has
that.
like all of those characters are from the game, and I'm like, I've never touched this game in my life. And I didn't even know it was based off the game until recently when I watched like half of season two. I haven't even finished it. Um, because I just haven't. But it's a great, like, the animation is great, the art style is great. I'm obsessed with the art style. Um, Fun fact, I am an artist. Like
She's a side
I
hustler, everybody. She's a girl of many talents.
I'm a girl of many talents. I like doing art. I consider doing art as a career, but uh I don't think that I prefer doing art just like as a casual thing, like painting and drawing and whatever, just for fun. But I think it's a very pretty show.
It is a very good show indeed. Indeed.
And yeah.
I had two, but like I'm like very compelled on which one to pick.
Ooh.
I don't know. I really liked She-Ra a lot. Like
Oh
She-Ra
my
was like
God.
my favorite.
I love
Um,
Shira.
She-Ra, apparently there was a show back, I think it was like the 90s or the 80s.
Uh,
I don't
yeah,
remember.
I think the 80s.
The 80s. There was so basically that show from the 80s was brought back into like an animated series, and it's all a lot of action, a lot of adventure, a lot of character development.
Yeah,
Which is great. We love character development. And overall it
it's
was
a
like a
great show.
comfort. It was like a very good like comfort show. Like you can just
Mhm.
plop it up on your like your TV while eating a box of cereal. It's like one of those types of shows.
Yeah,
Um,
very, very, I don't want to say like warm, because there's definitely like parts of the show where you're like, oh my God. But I did watch all of Shira like doing something chill. I wasn't like stressing on the edge of my seat, you know.
yeah.
Shira's a very, very chill, very, very
It's
fun show.
because I need them to make a season three, but that's not gonna happen anytime soon. So just sit and wait. So the next question is, what is your favorite story, book, or a movie? Like if you could choose any one from those character categories, what would it be?
So I want to say favorite movie, my favorite movie. And I want to say Pride and Prejudice.
I think I've seen that.
And I feel like most people like Pride and Prejudice because I don't know, maybe like the romance. Um, and I don't want to be like, oh, I'm different. I don't like it because I love the romance. It's cute. Okay, it's cute. Don't hate me. But just the just the aesthetics of it, like the it being a period piece, and I just think it's fun. Um, and I think it's funny that my my family, like my cousins, have also watched it. My cousins, who are boys, by the way. Not that boys can't watch Pride and Prejudice, but they're very like I cannot see these young men caring at all about this movie, but they have sat and they've watched it, and it's I don't know. I guess it's a fun movie. It's like the romance part is a plus, but I just think it's funny. There's a lot
I've
of
never seen Pride and Prejudice.
you've never seen Pride and Prejudice.
No, I have not.
Um, I think you would like it.
I would hope
It's
so.
funny.
I
It
like to.
has a lot of like I want to say banter. Like if you really pick up on the banter between the characters, like I know they're speaking in old British
It was like one
English.
of those like old tale like Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, kind of.
Is it giving one of those?
It's one of those um like I guess like I'm gonna like break it down for you really quick. It's like a poor family and I don't even know what time period it is, but um and you know the dresses and the suits and the suitors and the young ladies need to get married or else they're gonna like be a widow and be scorned by society forever.
Oh Lord.
And there's this girl who's like, I'm not gonna get married unless I really like somebody, and so far I hate everybody, so I'm not gonna get married ever. And her family's like, oh God, she's gonna I don't know. Because in that era, like a woman didn't get married, she would
Like seen
basically
as a sin.
yeah, she would basically like die because, you know, women can't have money, women can't do anything. Um and that aspect of it is frustrating. But I guess just like the development between the girl, the main character, and the her love interest is really interesting because like it's a enemies to
Enemies to
lovers kind
lovers.
of, yeah, because they do hate each other at the beginning. But I just think I like how they did it. I like how they did it. It wasn't like forced, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they like slowly the way he like redeems himself to her because he kind of messed up and
Ooh.
she's like you messed up, and the way he like redeems himself
We love him that
was
redeemed himself.
nice. We love we love it when men try to redeem themselves.
Oh.
But yeah, that's my favorite movie.
My favorite movie would have to be anything from Marvel, because I am a diehard Marvel gal. I love
Oh
everything
my
about it.
god,
Yes, there's been some up and downs with the franchise, but in any other franchise, there's always ups and downs.
that's true.
But I cannot wait for this next movie to come out. It needs to come out right now. The new Spider-Man movie needs to come out right now,
Oh my god, yeah.
but they delayed it until, whenever people want to get their act together.
Oh yeah.
But
Whenever Marvel decides to get their act together.
whenever Marvel and Sony, because they're both.
Oh yeah, and Sony.
Still love
Hmm.
y'all. Still, I still respect y'all, but they just need to hurry up. So, you mentioned earlier that you like to do art on your free time, but is there any other hobbies that you like to do aside from that?
I do journaling. I okay, so I say journaling, but it's more like trash scrapbooking. I don't know exactly what it's
Ooh.
called, but basically I take like things from my day to day, so like receipts and train tickets and what else? Just a bunch of like silly little things that remind me of my day. And I put it in a journal and I like kind of, you know, record my silly little life.
Like a scrapbook.
It's a scrapbook
Oh,
and it's also a journal. And it just kind of like I've been doing it for I want to say 4 years.
oh wow.
And I have a journal like from El Salvador, I have a journal of my first year back in New York. I have another, and it's just interesting to see how my priorities change, how my, goals change. And uh it's just very relaxing because I don't put any pressure into it. And I kind of just like slap things on there. So
It's like a rage room, but not really a
yeah,
rage room.
it's like a it's like a roomless rage room. I like rip things up and tape it in there, and yeah,
That's so cute. Wait, have you like used how many notebooks have you went through?
I have three so far.
How close are you over the third one? Are you almost
The
done?
third one is about to be done.
Oh,
I usually I usually leave some pages at the end for no reason in particular. I just finishing it all the way to the end for some reason I just cannot. So I leave some room at the end, like some pages, and then I start the next one.
that's fire. I have to see them if you let
I will. I will show you.
if you let me. Because that is your peace and joy.
Yeah.
Have you kept
I
stuff for
like
when we went like on our little adventures?
yeah, I have stuff from like when we go to the city, when we, I have like stuff from the Museum of Natural History. I have stuff from the Guggenheim. I have, like just like the little pamphlets that they give you in all these places.
Oh,
Like
you
I
better than me. I would have
saved
lost it
them.
within the first 5 minutes.
I have like let me see. I'm holding one right now. Um I have the little bracelet we got when we went to Gymshark together.
I still have mine. Mine's currently hanged up in where all my gym stuff is.
Mine is taped securely in my notebook.
Guys, we waited forever to get those wristbands.
Guys,
Waited forever.
it
But it
was
was
for
it was a beautiful experience. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was
it
beautiful.
was. It was fun.
Fun. It was very beautiful.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But I like recording our little adventures.
We always we're gonna go on more.
Yes.
We're gonna
Yes, you
we're
will.
gonna go on more. We're still young.
We are young.
We're young.
We have our whole life ahead
We
of
have our
us.
time. We have our time. Um, we are getting closer to the end. I'm just gonna choose one more question and then we can sort of end it off there if that's all right with you, Miss Ma'am.
Alrighty. Yes, of
Okay.
course.
So I'm looking at the questions and I really want to do this one. Do you have a favorite saying or motto? Can you tell me a saying that you remember hearing and how does a saying impact you as you develop in your career?
So, a saying that's kind of stuck with me forever is don't put off until tomorrow something that you can do today,
Hmm.
which is like perfect for me because I am a chronic procrastinator.
Oh, girl, me and you both.
Like if I don't sit my ass down and do my things I have to do, I really have to like, okay, Allison, like it's time. It's time to do the work. It's time to sit down and do the work. Um and this quote, Lord, I'm about to embarrass myself.
If you're
But
uncomfortable with saying that, you don't have to say it.
no, it's just funny. Um like when I was a kid, um, I was obsessed with the Lego show Ninjago, and I am like 80% sure this quote came from that show. Like I obviously the quote existed before the freaking show, but I'm pretty sure that's the first time I heard it, and it's just stayed in my mind since then. And I use it to encourage myself to stop being such a procrastinator and sit down and do my work.
Never heard of that one. Probably because I did not watch Ninjago. But like
Yeah,
I never heard of that one. I don't know.
I have
For
no idea. Yeah.
for me, it's the stereotypical quote that we all be saying. By we all, I mean like the Latin slang. Échale ganas y ponte pilas, mija. There's no English translation to that in English. What? Yeah, there's no like translation to that in English, so I am sorry. Um, but basically, this quote was engraved in my head ever since I was a little wee baby.
Yes.
Um, and it's just whenever I hear that quote, it's currently hanged up in my room. It reminded me how far I've come, my family has come, and my ancestors have come because I value culture and family over everything because without
Yes.
that, I wouldn't be where I am today. And it just reminded me that I am here to not only make my parents proud, but to make myself proud and make my country proud. Guatemala. Um, Guatemala. Um, to show that we can thrive and we can be successful
Yeah.
in America. Even though there is less percentage of Latinas and Latinos getting bachelor's degrees, master's degree, even doctoral degrees. Um, there are a lot of us out there actively still trying to get our degrees. And overall, that quote just engraves in our head just to keep going, put the battery
Yeah.
in and keep going.
Yeah, it's basically like put your back into it.
Literally. Um, so that's a quote. It's not fun as your little Ninjago quote, but it is okay.
But my mother has said that to me multiple times.
Pretty sure
It's
everyone's
telling on me.
grandfather has said that multiple times. Or abuelo.
Yeah,
Um,
like every Latina has like a family member that has said that to them at some point.
at some point in their lifetime, or even a cousin. I've said that to my
Yeah.
cousin multiple times. It's in their head now. The tradition will keep going.
The tradition will keep
The
going.
tradition will keep going.
I've said that to my cousins. I don't think they understood me. It'll be okay.
They'll be fine. They'll understand it later.
Yeah,
Maybe.
hopefully.
Um, so yeah, that is all the time that we have for today in our lovely little career podcast. Is there anything you would like to say before we sign off?
Um, to all my Latinos out there and my non-Latinos and everybody in between, you can do it.
Sí se puede.
Sí se puede.